My dear friends, let me share something with you that has the power to completely transform the way you live your life. There are exactly three things, just three, that every woman should never reveal to anyone. Not to her closest friend, not to her family, and not even to the person she loves most. Why? Because the moment she exposes these sacred things, she unknowingly hands over her strength and power into the hands of others. In today's world, it seems like everyone is eager to share everything. Every fleeting thought, every struggle, every secret is posted, told, or broadcasted with the belief that openness equals strength. But wisdom whispers a different truth. True power is not found in what you give away freely, but in what you carefully protect. A woman who understands the art of what to keep hidden walks through life with a dignity that commands respect, a confidence that is unshakable, and a divine strength that emanates from within. Today, I want to reveal to you what those three things are, the sacred treasures you must guard fiercely. And when you hear them, your entire perspective on life will shift. You will never see your experiences the same way again. So stay with me, because by the end of this message, you will carry away a wisdom that cannot be shaken by circumstance or opinion. First, understand that a woman's pain is sacred. It is not a story meant to be displayed for those who only want to pity her, or worse, use her vulnerabilities against her. When you share your deepest wounds with the wrong people, they will keep reminding you of them every time you try to rise above. Some wounds are meant to heal in silence. Some battles are meant to be fought quietly before the world even notices. Remember this: there are forces hidden, subtle, that work relentlessly against your progress. There are people who smile at you with kindness on their lips, but secretly hope to see you stumble. That is why a woman must guard her plans as carefully as a seed nestled in fertile soil, nurturing it quietly and privately until it grows strong enough to withstand the harshest winds. Love is a beautiful, life-giving force, but it is not something to be scattered carelessly without wisdom. A woman who exposes the full depth of her love openly risks heartbreak, manipulation, and deep regret. Love should be deep, yes, but it must also be discerning. Not every heart is worthy of holding yours. So, my dear sisters, if you remember nothing else I say today, remember this: what you choose to hide is what you truly keep. Hide your pain so the world cannot define you by it. Hide your plans so they may grow undisturbed and flourish without interference. Hide the depth of your love so it is given only to those who truly deserve it. Walk in wisdom, walk in strength, and walk confidently, knowing that what you guard today will protect you tomorrow. In a world where openness is often mistaken for strength, the true essence of power lies in what remains concealed. A woman who understands this secret carries herself with a grace and confidence that cannot be easily shaken. From the dawn of time, mystery has been the key to influence. The less people know about you, the more they seek to understand. The more they are drawn to your presence, and the more control you have over how they perceive you. There is a reason why the most captivating figures throughout history maintained an aura of mystery, protecting their inner world and revealing only what was necessary. Building on the power of mystery we touched on before, consider this: many of the most influential figures in history were not those who laid bare every detail of their lives. Instead, they spoke with wisdom, choosing their words deliberately and leaving those around them intrigued and curious. This isn't about deception, far from it. It is about discretion, about knowing that not every thought or feeling must be displayed for the world to judge, envy, or misuse. A woman who truly understands the power of mystery doesn't feel compelled to explain herself to everyone. She doesn't broadcast her vulnerabilities nor parade her strengths like trophies. Instead, she lets her very presence speak volumes. When she enters a room, she doesn't announce her worth with loud words. She embodies it quietly but unmistakably. On the other hand, those who lack this wisdom often seek constant validation. They lay bare their thoughts, plans, and emotions to anyone, willing to listen, believing that exposure equals strength. But what they fail to see is that the more they reveal, the more vulnerable they become. Words once spoken cannot be taken back. Secrets once shared cannot be reclaimed. Trust once broken is difficult to restore. A wise woman guards her tongue carefully, because she knows not everyone listening wishes her well. The power of mystery isn't about secrecy for secrecy's sake. It's about protection of her peace, her ambitions, and her spirit from those who would drain, hinder, or manipulate her. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully grasp. They respect what isn't easily accessible. Think about it. Why are the greatest treasures always hidden, buried deep beneath the earth, locked away in safes, or guarded with utmost care? Because what is truly valuable is never left exposed for just anyone to touch. A woman must see herself as such a treasure. Her thoughts, dreams, struggles, and strengths are not meant for public display, but for selective sharing with those who have proven themselves worthy. There is also great power in being unpredictable. When a woman doesn't reveal everything she knows, feels, or intends to do, she maintains control of her story and her influence. The moment people think they have figured her out, she loses a vital edge. But when she holds back, choosing silence, overreaction, a smile over explanation, she keeps others guessing, and in that uncertainty, she holds the upper hand. This is not about manipulation. It's about wisdom. It's the understanding that the world isn't always kind, and not everyone deserves access to the deepest chambers of her mind and heart. A woman's heart is a vast and sacred place, filled with emotions, dreams, and experiences that shape her very existence. It is not something to be carelessly handed over to just anyone. Within her are chambers that must remain private, guarded like a sacred temple, because not everyone who enters will do so with good intentions. Society often tells women to be open, to share their deepest feelings freely, suggesting that vulnerability is the true mark of strength. But wisdom teaches us otherwise. True strength isn't measured by how much one reveals, but by how carefully one protects the most delicate parts of the soul. Not everyone deserves access to a woman's pain, because not everyone will handle it with the care it demands. There are those who will listen with compassion and protectiveness, those who will value the sacred trust. And then there are those who will exploit it. This is why a woman must discern carefully, choosing when to open her heart and to whom. Because her strength lies not only in her faith and resilience, but also in the sacred boundaries she sets to protect her inner world, continuing from the wisdom of guarding one's inner world. A truly wise woman understands that not all wounds are meant for the eyes and ears of others. Some pains are not meant to be healed in the spotlight, but rather laid quietly before God Himself, not broadcasted for the world's judgment or gossip. She knows deeply that some struggles are battles to be fought in silence, not paraded for public dissection. The most profound wounds, when shared too freely, risk being reopened by the very people she once trusted. It's not coldness or detachment to withhold. Rather, it is profound wisdom. A woman who embraces this principle walks in quiet strength, fully aware that her heart is not an open book for all to read, but a sacred scroll meant only for those who have earned the right to glimpse its depths. Just like her heart, her dreams are delicate, fragile seeds planted carefully in the soil of her soul. If exposed too soon or to the wrong hands, these dreams risk being trampled before they ever have the chance to bloom. Countless dreams have been crushed in their earliest stages, simply because they were shared with the wrong people, those who wear doubt disguised as concern, who smile at a woman's ambitions while secretly hoping she never succeeds. So, a woman must be wise and cautious about whom she entrusts with her vision. Not every listening ear is truly a friend, and not every smile conceals sincerity. True supporters reveal themselves through their actions, not just empty words. Love, too, is a sacred chamber of the heart that demands protection. A woman who gives away the full depths of her love to just anyone risks finding herself emotionally drained, used by those who take but never give in return. Love is a precious gift, and gifts should never be cast carelessly at the feet of those who do not cherish them. True love is tested by time, proven through consistent actions, and fortified by wisdom. No woman should ever reveal the full extent of her devotion to someone who is yet to prove their own. This is not a game, it is an act of self-respect. To love deeply is beautiful, but to love wisely is powerful. A woman's heart is a treasure chest, and not everyone deserves to hold the key. Some parts of her must remain hidden, not because they are unworthy of being known, but because they are too precious to be mishandled. Trust is a beautiful, yet perilous gift, a woman's most valuable offering. While it is often said that trust should be earned rather than given freely, how many times do we place faith in those who haven't proven themselves worthy? The world may preach openness as a virtue, but wisdom teaches discernment. A woman who trusts too easily opens the door wide for betrayal, disappointment, and heartbreak. She must learn that trust is not something to be scattered like seeds in the wind, but carefully planted in the rich soil of proven character. Not everyone who smiles warmly at her is a true friend, and not everyone who listens to her speaks with a pure heart. Some people enter her life only to uncover weaknesses and gather information that could one day be used against her. Therefore, a wise woman understands that trust is not measured by the length of acquaintance, but by consistent patterns of faithfulness. Just because someone has been around for years doesn't mean they deserve to know her secrets. Just because someone says "I love you" doesn't guarantee they will protect her heart. Trust must be built on solid foundations, on repeated acts of loyalty, integrity, and genuine care. A woman should never feel compelled to give away the keys to her soul lightly or hastily. Her strength lies in her ability to guard what is precious. Her wisdom shines brightest when she knows exactly who deserves her truth and who must remain on the outside. In a world eager to consume and expose, a woman who chooses discretion commands respect, and in that sacred space of guarded secrets and protected dreams, she cultivates the strength and grace that make her truly unstoppable. Building on the wisdom of knowing when and to whom to reveal the depths of her soul, a woman learns that she is never pressured to share everything with everyone around her. There are sacred parts of her story, intimate pieces of her pain, and delicate details of her plans that must be carefully guarded, kept private from the curious eyes and ears of the world. The world doesn't need to know every fleeting thought that crosses her mind, every hope she quietly nurtures, or every struggle that weighs heavily on her heart. She must pause and ask herself a crucial question: Is this person truly trustworthy? Or am I simply giving them access out of habit, loneliness, or obligation too often? Trust is extended not because it has been genuinely earned, but because a woman feels guilt or pressure to open up. Yet withholding is not an act of selfishness. Rather, it is an act of profound wisdom. There is danger in trusting too quickly, especially in moments of emotional vulnerability. When she is hurting, it's natural for a woman to seek someone to confide in, someone to ease her burden. But pain, while real and raw, can cloud judgment and in the wrong hands. Her heartfelt confessions might be twisted into weapons. They can be used to manipulate her, to control her, or to fuel malicious gossip. Therefore, a wise woman understands the importance of pause. She prays before she reveals, and discerns carefully before she trusts. If someone has proven untrustworthy in small matters, why grant them access to a deeper life? If they have betrayed others, what guarantee does she have that they won't betray her? Even in love, trust should never be given blindly. Love is not measured by how much a woman shares, but by how much she protects. She must ensure that the one she entrusts with her heart is not careless or reckless. Just because someone desires her doesn't mean they will guard her heart well. True trust is built slowly, over time, through trials and seasons of testing. A woman who knows the boundaries of trust also knows her own worth. She recognizes that trust is a privilege, not an entitlement. And only those who consistently prove themselves deserve a place. Inside the walls of her heart, words, too, carry immense power. They can build bridges or burn them down, heal wounds or deepen scars, open doors or shut them forever. A woman who understands the weight of her words realizes that not every thought or feeling needs to be spoken aloud, though the world often encourages her to speak her truth and to say whatever comes to mind without restraint. Wisdom gently teaches her that silence can sometimes speak louder than words. There are things that once said cannot be taken back. Words once released have the power to change relationships, tarnish reputations, and even alter destinies. A wise woman knows that not every thought demands a voice, and not every truth needs to be shared with everyone. One of the greatest mistakes she can make is speaking in the heat of emotion. Anger, frustration, and even excitement can make her say things she'll later regret. How many relationships have been damaged by words spoken too hastily? How many precious opportunities have slipped away because something was shared that should have remained private? A woman who masters control over her tongue also controls the future. She doesn't speak merely to fill silence or to react impulsively. She doesn't share her plans with those who have yet to earn her trust. Instead, she pauses, reflects, and chooses her words with deliberate care. And there are also things a woman should never say, not because they aren't true, but because they do not serve her well. She should not speak poorly of others, for negativity only diminishes her light. She should not confess defeat prematurely, for her words have the power to shape her reality. She should not reveal her fears to those who would exploit them, but rather protect her spirit fiercely. In learning when to speak, when to hold back, and to whom she entrusts her inner world. A woman walks a path of strength that few understand but many admire. This is the power of discretion acquired, steady force that protects her peace, nurtures her dreams, and guards her soul, continuing from the power of carefully guarding her words. A woman understands that her words are more than mere sounds. They shape the very reality she lives. And if she constantly tells herself that she is not good enough, not beautiful enough, or not strong enough. Those declarations will embed themselves deep in her mind. Over time, they become her truth, defining how she views herself and how she navigates the world. Therefore, she must be cautious not to speak harshly against others, because what she says about them often reveals more about her own heart than theirs. Gossip and negativity might feel harmless in the moment, but they leave lasting stains on the character of the speaker. A wise woman knows not to waste her breath on empty words that serve no purpose. Then there are secrets. A woman must be discerning about which parts of her life to keep guarded and which to share. Not every detail of her journey belongs to public conversation. There are battles meant to be fought quietly, victories that deserve celebration in the privacy of her heart, and wounds that must be healed away from prying eyes. When she speaks too freely, she hands others weapons they can wield against her. When she reveals too much, she invites doubt, interference, and unsolicited opinions. A woman who knows how to protect her words also protects her peace. There is immense strength in silence and profound wisdom in restraint. A woman who masters her speech carries herself with an aura of mystery and dignity that is difficult to shake. The world pays attention to those who speak with purpose, not to those who fill the air with careless chatter. A wise woman does not merely speak. She chooses her words with intention and clarity, fully aware that her words are reflections of her inner strength. Silence, often misunderstood as weakness, is one of the greatest powers a woman can possess. In a society obsessed with immediate reactions, constant sharing, and unfiltered emotions, the ability to remain silent signals discipline, confidence, and wisdom. Such a woman refuses to be dragged into every argument or meaningless debate. She doesn't allow others to dictate when and how she should respond. She understands that silence, when wielded wisely, holds more weight than 1,000 spoken words. There are moments when silence is truly the best answer. When others speak in anger, her silence refuses to add fuel to the fire. When rumors are spread, silence denies them the validation they seek. When provoked, silence robs the instigator of satisfaction. A woman who grasps this truth does not feel compelled to justify herself to those who have already made up their minds. She does not beg for understanding from those unwilling to understand. She chooses not to engage in battles that serve no purpose or harm her peace. Instead, she carefully decides when to speak and when to let silence work on her behalf. Silence also serves as a powerful shield. A woman who keeps her deepest thoughts, feelings, and plans to herself maintains control over her own life. The world has a way of twisting words, turning shared confidences into vulnerabilities to be exploited. By speaking less, she reduces the chances of being manipulated or misunderstood. She recognizes that she owes no one an explanation for every move she makes. Her discretion protects not only her peace, but also the sacredness of her spirit. In a world eager to expose and dissect, a woman who guards her words is a rare force, respected, powerful, and wise beyond measure.